So, as I said, I graduated in 2006, which makes me feel really, really old. But I didn't know what I wanted to do, so I moved back to Belfast. And in Belfast, I worked for a suit company selling suits and measuring people. So I learned what makes me look good in a suit, which was sort of useful. I worked for BBC in their HR department. I learned some stuff about HR policies, which is quite handy if you're going to manage teams. And I worked for the Court Service of Northern Ireland. All these were relatively short roles, but with the Court Service of NI, well, if you want to learn how to manage conflict, go work in politics in Northern Ireland. But in 2008, I really realized I wasn't happy. And I sort of asked myself, when have I been at my happiest? And I thought back to my time at Edinburgh. And I sort of asked myself, why was I happy at uni? And 3 reasons sort of came out through conversations with my dad and my aunt. And I was happy because I was learning. I felt intellectually challenged. And I had a broad range of diverse and interesting debates with people. So I thought, okay, I'm going to make a change in my life. And I thought, I'm going to pick an industry that I know nothing about. I'm going to go somewhere where it's difficult to succeed, which is a strange career move in and of itself. And I'm going to go where I think that I can get a diversity of opinions in debate. So I picked London, didn't really like it, never really been there before. I picked financial services, and I picked Barclays in 2008 at the start of the economic crash. My mum asked me what was my job going to be, and I said, I don't know, but it'll be interesting to find out. And off I went. Over 5 years, I worked as a branch manager. I spent time doing business strategy for their property department, and I toured across 100 different town centres learning loads of stuff about town planning. I mean, more stuff than I ever thought I would need to know about town planning and location planning, but it was really interesting. And after 5 years, I realized that what I wanted was another challenge, and I started reaching out to my network and looking at different opportunities. And someone said to me, oh, you can go into consulting. Consulting, you get loads of variety. That's quite interesting. So I thought, okay, I'll give consulting a go. So applied for a job and was lucky enough to get an interviewed and got the role. And I rocked up in EY to do business strategy, and within 3 weeks was put on an interest rate derivatives project. I knew nothing about interest rate derivatives, and basically spent the weekend reading on Wikipedia and a really deeply boring book on economics to learn about what interest rate derivatives were, and had to go in a Monday morning and start talking about interest rate derivatives to our client. Fortunately, not all my work's been like that, but over the 3 years that I've had in consulting, basically my job can be summed up as what I do is I help people make good decisions. And how I do that is I explore and analyze problems with them. I help people understand different and competing viewpoints, and I try and simplify business complexity. That's basically what I do, and I love it. But if you think about those 3 things, they can be phrased another way. I just practice philosophy in a weird corporate environment, but that's basically what I do. And I think it's actually critical to businesses, and the importance of being able to put the philosophy skills that I have to good use is people frequently say to me, oh, you think differently about problems. And I sort of counter that by saying, well, I think if I think differently, I help you think more clearly. And when I sort of come back to what makes me good at my job, I don't think that my peers would say Lee's a good consultant. I think my peers say Lee helps other people be good consultants. And that's what I find really, really enjoyable. And it is just because I basically get to do philosophy in financial services. So the 3 things that sort of, in classic consulting style, I'll leave you with 3 things. One is your degrees give you the skills to succeed. It's just a case of figuring out how to apply them and use them. The second is don't worry about not knowing where you want to go. The fun is in finding out. And the third is don't underestimate the power in thinking differently. It's exactly what businesses need. There's far too many people with economics degrees in business. Having a philosophy, psychology, or language degree will really stand you in good stead.